case you haven't heard, there are some political happenings in Iowa this week. But for all the coverage lately, it seems to be playing out more like a political reality show. Our Scott Thuman is there on this caucus eve. Scott, all that money and attention spent on one single state with such a unique process for coming up with a nominee.
You're right about that, Sharyl. And Iowa has a reputation for launching lesser-known candidates like Jimmy Carter or Barack Obama on a path to the White House. There's also a long list of winners who went nowhere. But the conventional wisdom is ignore Iowa at your own political peril. So every 4 years, we return to the Midwest winters of Des Moines to rediscover one of the oddest examples of our democratic process.
God bless the great state of Iowa.
Every 4 years, the Iowa Hawkeyes are invaded by the political hucksters.
And I'm lucky that you're here. So we're gonna, I don't know there are many Patriots fans here. Are there any Patriots fans? Good.
No citizen is safe from the spotlight or forced photo op. No farm scene spared from the lame political scripting of some consultant from D.C. or New York. Iowa is Act 1, Scene 1 of the political theater that is the presidential campaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I can tell you that I am very proud tonight to announce the next president of the United States, Senator Bernie Sanders.
The next president of the United States, my friend and a great American, Ted Cruz.
This is the first winnowing. And so, you know, it's kind of the front-loaded Super Bowl in the process. And so you'll have some candidates that drop out after Iowa, drop out after New Hampshire, and then you get to Super Tuesday. You don't have to win, but you have to be in the top 3.
Iowa politics is about as grassroots as it gets. It's where some candidates spend years building a ground game, hoping that the caucuses will make them a contender. It is proof of former House Speaker Tip O'Neill's famous line that all politics is local. Even Donald Trump this week descended from his mass rally personal jet commuter campaign to attend church and even stayed overnight at a Holiday Inn.
I thought it was terrific. It was clean, it was nice, and the bed was good.
But in the state where politics is done over dinner in diners, in community halls that host town halls, this is not a place for casual politics. Iowans care about their issues. And of the issues, a Quinnipiac University poll this week stacked the top 5 ones for Iowans like this: the economy and jobs, terrorism, foreign policy, federal deficit, and immigration.
One benefit of being first in the nation here is having that intense, sustained focus on presidential politics. And so it does give Iowa a chance to really chew on these issues, but people really come and camp out here, and you have to have such a sustained ground game among all 99 counties.
The payoff isn't just the pride of being first in the nation. The presidential campaigns in 2016 are expected to spend up to $5 billion, almost twice that of the 2012 race. They're already breaking expectations in Iowa. Spending early this week had already topped $53 million for broadcast and cable TV ads, including some pricey buys during the NFL playoff games. And that's just political advertising. Some interesting spending on the ground game. Well, the Clinton campaign spent $2,000 for pizzas in Cedar Rapids. Rand Paul and Ted Cruz both seem to like the steaks at Johnny's Italian Steakhouse in Des Moines, picking up some good-sized tabs. And Ben Carson dropped over $2,000 for sweet corn at a campaign barbecue. Someone should have told him Nebraska is the Cornhusker state.
Iowa has become the reality TV show for this process, you know, in both good and bad ways, I suppose. The scale has grown so big. You just never know who you're going to meet out there on the trail. Susan Sarandon was hanging out with Bernie Sanders. Bill Clinton was stumping for his wife. And then a couple days ago, I met Robert Smigel, who was doing a bit for Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. So yeah, that is what Iowa has become, and it's both beautiful and chaotic.
But when it comes to the big score, how do the winners in Iowa actually fare? Well, it depends on the party. For the Democrats, since Bill Clinton in 1996, the winner in Iowa has gone on to win the party nomination. For the GOP, not so much. The last two Republicans to win in Iowa, Rick Santorum in 2012 and Mike Huckabee in 2008, fizzled soon thereafter. The last Iowa caucus winner to seize the nomination was George W. Bush in 2000.
Now for a little bit more on the importance of Iowa as seen by Iowans. Despite all of the press, the politics, and the hoopla, consider the numbers. The average number of Iowans who actually attend on caucus night, 120,000. That's roughly 20% of registered voters, meaning 4 out of 5 members from each party don't actually go out to the caucuses and to their precincts on this first night kicking off the election cycle. Sharyl?
Even after being so inundated, Scott, do you get the sense that they are used to all the attention, or do they still get excited over the caucuses and the candidates?
Well, Sharyl, I think they get excited about the infusion of cash and filling restaurants and hotels with everyone. But I'll tell you what, the one universal thing they agree on here is they are sick of the political ads, the negative ads, and whatever you think you're seeing in your state, it is likely to pale in comparison to what they are seeing here in Iowa, especially here in 2016.
I'll bet. Scott Thuman, thanks a lot. And it's the countdown to caucuses, and this campaign incredible. Excitement in Iowa has created its own momentum, driving toward the actual caucuses tomorrow night. With each day this week, the events, the talk, and the debate have grown more heated. In case you haven't been glued to your television, here's some of the highlights.
I'm a maniac, and everyone on this stage is stupid, fat, and ugly. Now that we've gotten the Donald Trump portion out of the way.
I don't think you have to give up your liberty for a false sense of security.
There's 3 lanes. There's the establishment lane, the anti-establishment lane, and then there's the Kasich lane.
I will gladly confess that I'm the only one on this stage with no political title.
Meanwhile, just 3 miles away from here at Drake University, the competing event Donald Trump promised, a rally his campaign said would raise money for veterans.
Will I get more votes? Will I get less votes? Nobody knows.
This election is not about our pedigree. This is an election about people that are really hurting.
Now the 3 Democratic presidential candidates giving their final pitches to Iowa voters.
Our campaign has the energy. You see it here tonight.
I know some of you are still shopping. I like to shop too.
I'm not capable of doing Q&A in Iowa from a seat.
I think we stand a real chance to create a large voter turnout, but I think it will be high enough for us to win here in Iowa.
I've been on the front lines of change and progress since I was your age. I have been fighting to give kids and women and the people who are left out and left behind a chance to make the most out of their own lives.
Quite the week. Now from the campaign trail to tracking something else, we follow the money, tracking the worst taxpayer wasters as we count down the top contenders for the dubious dishonor porker of the year.